practice.
Yeah, it's still pretty early on here. This is full team drills. It's a full padded practice today, which is exciting and always makes a nice crowd here. Energy is high, and we're going to be with you for the rest of practice. And right now, this is an inside zone. This is a plunged a little bit, and again, more people here than we have at the Under Armour Performance Center. And so when you have more people, this is a chance to see that, which is always a lot of fun. And that he hit him in the face, but you know, I like the battle there between those guys.
And Gary, you guys...
He's a really smart player. I was struck by his first day on campus and sitting down with him, getting a sense of who he is, how smart he is. I mean, that's evident. Like, you just talk to him for a few minutes, and you can see just the wisdom, the smarts that he has on and off the field. I mean, he's got a great mind for the game, his attention to detail. A couple of other quick stories on Malachi on that front. There was a period over the course since he's been here where the rookies were all at the hotel. He told us this when he sat down with us on the Lounge podcast at the beginning of training camp. And the rookies were at the team hotel, and he was bored basically in his room and wanted to practice some things and go through it. So they went to a ballroom, and a few guys were able to walk through the entire rookie class out there, taking over the ballroom, going through everything. So he's literally running walkthroughs.
Getting these reps before week one is very valuable, especially when you have an offense as good as the Ravens and you have it.
But he really does everything possible to maximize every day of practice, and just like a little play like that, it is just a size to get all these guys the ball here, and they're just continuing to build. So here's an outside run with Derrick Henry, who when he gets into the open field, look out. You know, Isaiah likely is a huge piece of that. So it's tough to lose him, and you feel bad for him individually. Oh, wow. Great guy who's played over the course of 3 years here. He's had some nice moments. He's good in the blocking game. He also have so many other weapons along this offense that I think is important to consider. And Roquan Smith there, I just think he looks even better this year. Deep shot down the sideline. Overshot there from Cooper Rush. Just as a reminder, Cooper Rush is the Ravens' backup quarterback.
Bringing in a guy who, you know, has played in 38 career games. He's an established vet in that quarterback's room.
Yeah, and as we're watching this here, I know there's a lot of interested people. This is an important year for him, obviously, as a former second-round pick who's just dealt with injuries. But he's looked good. And on that play right there, man, Keaton Mitchell, I mentioned him earlier.
He's fast. He's back.
He's back. He really is. He has looked awesome in training camp, and his shiftiness. And he's got energy as he goes to the crowd, fires them up. Like, he really made a take of that play to the house there in an actual game. Like, he has that shiftiness, that elusiveness, and it all last year was remarkable. And now you get to this point, he's looked good all off season. The work on like that play that we just saw there, that's the type of thing that he's going to be able to do. So I'm encouraged by him.
And we saw that a lot in his rookie.
He is just his resiliency is something to marvel at, to be honest. And I'm rooting for him. This team, there's just like not that many spots up for grabs, not only from a starting standpoint, but even to make the roster. You're like, who is going to make this team? Because there's really not that many.
We're looking forward to hearing what you and Mink predict.
You know, I'll beat him. I always end up getting more guys right on our 53-man predictions on the Lounge. That is always a fun episode, but it is a returner,
right? And
that's going to be something I want to see from him in game action. And if he does well at punt returner in these,
have been very complimentary of him. He's having a good camp.
Yeah. Deep shot there from Devin Leary. Just to me, I thought you were pretty fast already, but that's an area where he's gone to work. And I think that you could see that. I think that I do think that is a source of motivation. I don't think it is the main source. I just think that he's somebody that he has an obligation when you're talking about great receivers in this game. And he was a Pro Bowler last year. I think that he could certainly be back there again this year. Nice move there. Who was that? Was that Milton? Quarterback, of course, at Louisville, transitioned to wide receivers on the practice squad last year. Good friend with Lamar Jackson, and he's a nice player too. He's been even better than I expected him to be. And when the Ravens sign him, they've done this with a number of players
we've seen, and what coaches are saying, and obviously cutting, the undrafted kicker, like things look good for Tyler Loop.
He's got a huge leg. I mean,
Jonathan Ogden. But,
I'm almost as tall.
Yeah, we have a box here for you. You can stand on. So Mink, we're looking at
training camp is, man, this defense looks good.
Well, this guy looks pretty good too, number 8. Lamar
He
Jackson
always
breaks
looks
out of
good.
the pocket, brings it upfield. And I think he likes to toy with the defense in these practices because obviously the defense certainly felt like if it was a live period, they would have brought him down. But Lamar felt otherwise on that play. And that's just kind of some of what you're seeing there. Even just like when he's messing around, even when he's jogging on some of these.
Honestly, like, it's hard to say Lamar's dynamic running quarterback become a little less dynamic. I can tell you 2025 is not going to be the year.
Yeah, it's not right now.
And I don't see it in the future.
That's like hard to quantify, but that is an area where he's talked about wanting to grow. And I think that part of that just comes with natural age. You're going into your 8th year, and that just kind of is what happens over time. But that's something that he's talked about, and other players have as well.
Talk about guys who have looked good in this practice. Here, number 34 here.
Yep.
Keaton Mitch. Kind of who's still putting in the extra work. Who's signing autographs for all the kids after that practice? 4 straight days and 100+ heat index. Who's doing the extra work? Luke could kick a longer field goal than that?
Well, again, in training camp practice, not against the rush, he kicked a 68-yarder last week.
Hey, he has the Arizona program record.
Have a better shot. Or, Tucker did it in Detroit. It's a dome.
Yep,
the conditions are a little easier. So
Baltimore's
not an easy place to kick.
So that was just a fun competition there. DeAndre Hopkins versus Jair Alexander. Those two guys have been matched up against each other a lot in practice. And that is what I was talking about earlier a little bit. That one was out of bounds. Hopkins was just a little bit out of bounds. He tried to sell it to the ref and get, throw the hands up for a touchdown. But he was just a little bit out of bounds there. But, yeah, definitely.
D-Hop's like the only guy that has gotten Jair, pretty much.
Yeah, there's not many guys who have. And those two guys, they've each won reps. And I like those two guys that, they have some chemistry with each other. They're battling each other. And so it's nice to see that.
Multiple flags on that rep. DPI. Looks like the referee's talking to Malachi Starks. What you like to see? Explain to the rook, what'd you do wrong on this?
Yeah.
And the Ravens hired a former referee to come in and kind of counsel them on, explain any penalties, just kind of give better perspective on how to clean up some of these issues. And, certainly from a touchdown to Mark Andrews, from a turning over every stone, right? You bring in a former referee who can kind of help give you advice. And if you learn something and you avoid a big penalty in a big game, hey, that's worth it,
I mean, yeah, I think that we've seen, not the ref piece of it, but we've seen throughout John Harbaugh's time as a head coach, looking for any avenue to any way to improve. Yep. And this is
pleasure. Thanks for having me. I just wish you didn't have me follow Mink. Kind of puts me in not in the best situation.
What?
But yeah, no, I think obviously one of the biggest stories in camp has been the field goal, competition and. On Saturday that it looks like Andrew Voorhees has got a tight hold on the left guard job. So yeah, I mean those questions are well on their way to being answered at this point.
Yeah, on the kicking game, Jeff, you don't know that until you know it.
Yep.
But everything that we've seen is encouraging. Also, a guy that I'll point out right there who applied the pressure, I think that he's I think he's in store for a big year. Oh, Derrick Henry out of the backfield. And so the flip side of that is Derrick Henry cruises in for the touchdown there. Great blocking. I mean, big hole for him.
Was a hole.
That was an easy touchdown.
He didn't have to touch anyone.
They did the rush to the line of scrimmage, which you see sometimes. I mean, that's a lot of what they've been working on in practice. Potentially not having Isaiah Likely in week 1, which is not a sure thing. We don't know that yet. So they have they have the time and talent on their side. Oh, that was a nice throw by Cooper Rush. He's really come on over the last week.
Those guys that is versatile, a versatile piece in the equation. And so the Ravens certainly want him to be.
He can block on the outside. That helps him. That could be the difference between him getting on this football team.
Yep. You mentioned Cooper Rush coming
in. Hopkins. Tylan Wallace is too important on special teams and such a good perimeter blocker.
A lot of ways at the receiver position, and we're going to get to see who can make a play right here. Deep shot down the field.
Oh, wow, what a throw.
perfect throw there from Lamar Jackson to Keith Kirkwood. You mentioned him as we're talking about the competition there. Kirkwood had a big play in practice yesterday too, and I think the day before. So nice play there with Jair Alexander in coverage, and a beautiful ball from Lamar Jackson.
He made a great move too in the one-on-ones there early in practice. Guy the coaching staff has, you see him go like 5 different times.
Yeah.
And we've all seen veterans here in the past that kind of sit in the back of the line and say, "No, I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
Let the young kids, but not Alexander. He toes the line and gets ready to go.
This thing, Tyler Loop is the story coming out of this practice, to be able to drill those long field goals and really make you feel like he's in good position to, like, but you need to have a good kicker. And we've had a good kicker here for the longest time. And so, there's Sanusi Kane, you mentioned him. There's the thud.
He likes to hit, that's for sure.
So I think Loop is a takeaway for me coming out of this practice right now.
Yeah, you know, the team showed faith in him, not just by drafting him, but by not bringing in a veteran to compete with him, right? And then they showed more faith in him by cutting, you know, John Hoyland, who was kicking well. It's not like it was a performance thing. I mean, so they've showed their faith. They've showed how much they believe in him, and you know, he's delivering today.
Yeah.
He looks like a completely different quarterback over the last week at camp. I mean, he's made some really pretty throws, looks much more comfortable in the offense.
You think that's just a familiarity thing with the offense?
Sure, I'm sure that has something to do with it, right? I mean, it's hard to pick up a new offense and entirely new skill players. And he took a lot of reps in the offseason, too. You know, he was running, you know, as the first quarterback in OTAs and stuff. So I'm sure that experience has helped him shorten the learning curve a little bit.
You know, one thing we haven't talked about a ton today is just the offense, whose size is super intriguing, and there he is going up against David Ajabo. And so Vincent, I think, you know, I don't know how big of a role he'll end up playing this year. I think he's going to be certainly on the 53.
So Ravens almost always go with 9 or 10 on the offensive line. So those final 3 spots, I mean, I guess a little depends on Emory Jones's health. And then you got Vincent, then you got Dellinger, then you've got a guy like Samac from last year. There's a lot of recent draft picks in the running for these jobs.
Yeah, and what that roster composition looks like, I think the secondary is going to be a really tough up on waivers at the
Caillou Kelly, right?
Caillou Kelly, that was the one I was thinking of, Jeff. I knew you would know. Caillou Kelly was the other one I was thinking of.
You're going to need to play special teams and be good at it if you're going to, you know, be a reserve defensive back.
What are you expecting this week? We have joint practices with the Colts.
Jobs are decided over the next 10 days.
Yeah.
When you enter the final preseason game, you pretty much know just about 51 or 52 out of the final 53 spots. So this is the time to make the roster push, get a different uniform across from you.
Well, Jeff has a lot to do today. He's a busy guy. So, Jeff, we want to thank you for joining us on Training Camp Live. We will let you go finish your job, because I know.
Get back to Rayton.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
I really
thank you so much, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Always good to chat with you.
Yeah, you guys as well.
Jeff has now passed the baton to another Ravens writer who's joining the party. Clifton Brown is now here. Cliff, thanks so much for joining us and hanging out while we watch this open stadium practice.
Yeah, beautiful day. Great atmosphere here at M&T. Kind of a preview of what we're going to see here in a month or so. This place having juice to it. You can tell how excited Ravens fans are about this upcoming season, and they have every right to be.
So what's the biggest thing that has stood out to you in watching practice today?
Well, I think that I've been watching some of the young guys, you know, just seeing how they react. Obviously, the crowd got a big kick out of Loop hitting that 60-yarder. I mean,
that's something. That's something.
What you did there.
Yeah, that's out of your playbook right
wow,
there.
I'm so proud.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. It's rubbing off. Yes. Yeah, I think that that's one for sure. And then I just feel like the players get a kind of energy charge out of being in the stadium with this many fans. There are fans in practice, but this atmosphere being in the bowl. I was watching Malachi Starks doing warm-up, kind of looking around, you know, kind of, I think, visualizing this is where it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he comes from a huge program like Georgia, so certainly not too big for him. But to get an atmosphere, he's never played here.
Yeah.
And obviously he's a guy, Malachi Starks, that the Ravens are really going to be depending on. So just to soak up this atmosphere is different than being doing a regular practice at training camp.
Yeah, I mentioned this to Jeff, but I really think that to me the biggest thing is like Tyler Luke today. I think that he is the thing with him that, and this is, whoa.
Nice grab.
You get points there, style points, doesn't
Even though it's
count.
out of bounds, nice catch. Yes.
Like the thing with Tyler Loop, and I've mentioned this, but I'll keep going back to it. You want to see him when the stakes get higher perform well, and today the stakes got higher, and this is probably his best practice of training. That oftentimes, usually after, but like Loop has been really good, and
for him to come out here and perform like this, as you said, Garrett, his best practice of training camp coming before these fans, and that's what you want to see. You see the defense here getting a turnover. I think that's something else. Wanting guys to finish when they get a turnover. Finish.
It's little details.
It is the little things, but getting turnovers is a big thing for the Ravens.
Entire defense is taking that to heart and really trying to get there.
Yeah, I feel
of Green's pass rush technique already.
Well, there he is again.
Yeah,
he gets into the backfield again on that play. I mean, he's
for a vet like Kyle Van Noy to say that about a rookie. I mean, you know you're doing something right.
Well, it's two straight plays there. One, and what stands out about Green is that he's got a variety of ways to get to the quarterback. The first one was really speed around the edge with great bend. On that, it was the stunt where he then came through the inside of the offensive line and still got to the quarterback. So, really good drill here for Green.
Yeah, he's different.
The good test here, and with everybody watching, you have Mike Green at the top who comes around the edge there and looks like he would have got to the quarterback.
He's going so far.
Yeah. And Adisa Isaac, who comes around the other edge, I mean, he's been picked a year ago. And for him, basically last year was a red shirt year. Didn't really play, but I think that there's a lot of potential for him there as well as the team comes together here in the middle of the field. And that is going to wrap up the action here at practice. I mean, this is a spirited practice, I thought. Yeah. I mean, it was good to see these guys get after it. And I think it was physical, it was competitive, and there was a lot to like about what we saw from here in today's practice.
No question. You see John Harbaugh there talking to the team, grinning, they're coming together. I think he's pleased, and I think all the players are pleased with what they've seen today, and the fans are as well. It's a great day out here, great atmosphere, and something to build even more momentum as they look forward to the first preseason game coming up on Thursday and the joint practice with the Colts.
Yeah.